This is 7 News.
Tonight, carjack terror. A Perth driver robbed at gunpoint.
I've realised what was going on and I've raised my hands in the air.
Cruel thieves target a Como widow.
Devastated, just devastated.
And a new race controversy rocks the AFL.
From the studios of 7 Perth, Ardon and Susannah Carr.
Good evening. A carjack victim has told of his terror at having a gun pushed into his neck. A masked robber ordered Rainy Low to get out. The 20-year-old then had to watch as the gunman drove off in his car. Grant Taylor reports.
He's pretty much come up to me and put a gun to my throat and said, "Get the so-and-so out of the car."
Carjack victim Rainy Low reliving his ordeal today, telling how a masked man held a gun to his neck and then stole his car.
He'd already opened the door with the gun still pointed at me. That's when I proceeded to get out of the car and basically just...
It happened at Caltex on Lake Road, Seville Grove, around lunchtime yesterday. Rainey says he was reversing into a car bay when the gunman came running out of an alley and up to his window.
I feared for my life, like I said before. It was really nerve-wracking, degrading as well. I mean, nobody should have that happen to them.
Rainey says he'd only had the Ford Fairlane for a few months and is still paying off his dad, who bought it for him. The car hasn't been found, neither has the gunman.
Rainey didn't get a good look at the man. He had a bandana covering his face and a dark hoodie over his head. He is certain of one thing, though, that's if this man's not caught, he'll do it again.
If you could do something like that in broad daylight and have no worries about it, then there's no who's to say he's not going to do it again.
Grant Taylor, 7 News.
As we go to air, the annual Easter exodus is underway as thousands of drivers head out of the city. Double demerits have been in place since midnight. The head of the State Traffic Operations, Commander Michelle Fife, is in the 7 News helicopter above the Forest Highway. Good evening, Commander. It's predicted to be the busiest weekend on our roads this year.
Well, yes, and from your helicopter I can see that the traffic is actually starting to build up on the freeways. And for West Australia Police, it is the busiest weekend on the roads. We're actually out there this long weekend targeting the Fatal Five. We're targeting people that are speeding excessively, people that are drinking or using drugs while they're driving, people that aren't wearing a seatbelt. We're targeting people that are driving whilst distracted, so, you know, using a mobile phone. And we're targeting people that are driving whilst tired. What we can say is we want people to get to their holiday destination, have a great time and get home safely. So drive safely.
Commander Michelle Fife, thank you for your time. A Como mother of 2 says she's distraught after thieves broke into her home and stole her dead husband's wedding ring, which was stored in a box with his ashes. Blake Johnson reports.
It's such a violation.
When you hear Jo Mulling's story, it's not hard to understand why she's upset.
I just lifted up that bit of plastic to see if by chance they were there, and they weren't. Yeah, broke my heart.
This is the box with her husband Russell's ashes. Thieves broke into Jo's Como home yesterday, went through the box and took Jo and Russell's wedding rings.
If it was a grave, you'd call it desecration, wouldn't you?
Russell died 2 years ago. Since then, Jo's battled to get her life back on track as a single mum to Jack and Kai.
Daddy bathing you.
The 2 boys had their TV and PlayStation stolen too. Insurance will cover those items, but Jo says what can't be replaced are the wedding rings.
I'd be, you know, willing to maybe negotiate a reward. I just want the rings back, please. I'm desperate for the rings back, please.
Blake Johnson, 7 News.
A warning tonight after a 13-year-old girl was groped and followed by a man in the western suburbs. Emmy Kubainski is in Cottesloe. Emmy, police are hunting an alleged sex pest.
That's right, Sue. The teenage girl was walking with friends along Forest Street near the Seaview Golf Course here in Cottesloe. It was March 18, but these details have only just been made public by police. Now, she was approached by a man who then groped her on her bottom. Now, he's described as being in his 40s or 50s, about 180 centimetres tall, of solid build with a fair complexion. Now, what's most noticeable about this man is his distinctive goatee. Now, police say the man then left the area in a green or blue 4-door ute. Rick?
Thanks, Emmy. The son of a West Australian MP could face bankruptcy over a drunken boat crash which seriously injured a young woman. Lawyers for the victim have written to Luke Woolard, the son of independent MP Janet, demanding payment of $230,000 or face possible bankruptcy proceedings. GEOF Parry reports.
It's Geoff Parry from Channel 7, Luke. Just wondering if you've made a decision on meeting that court order for Kate Campbell.
Luke Woolard has never spoken outside court about the horrific boat accident that seriously injured Kate Campbell.
Can you tell us whether you're going to meet your obligations to pay that money to Kate?
Luke Woolard was the drunk driver of a speedboat in November 2007 which hit a navigation marker near Canning Bridge. Passenger Kate Campbell was in a coma for a week and suffered serious injuries. Last week the court ordered he pay Miss Campbell $230,000.
I finally get a chance to pay my outstanding medical and legal bills.
Today, Miss Campbell's legal team wrote to the Woolards seeking payment within 7 working days or bankruptcy proceedings will be started against Luke Woolard. Mr Woolard's mother, independent MP Janet Woolard, refused to talk to us about whether the money would be paid. When we visited her office, she was in the next room. We caught up with her when she was leaving.
Can I ask you...
Sorry, I have an appointment.
No, I appreciate that. Can I ask you about the decision against Luke, though, with Kate Campbell? Have you decided whether the money's going to be paid or not?
I won't be commenting on that.
Why not? Why won't you comment?
Geoff Parry, 7 News.
Nearly 1,500 people have attended a funeral service in Queensland for a teenage lifesaver who drowned during a competition. Matt Barclay was 14 years old.
Stay with us. Coming up, a new development in the credit card scandal dogging Julia Gillard's government.
A 7 News exclusive as police get involved.
And a new beginning for victims of Australia's worst house fire.
The state government is working with industry to plug a massive gap expected in the state's workforce in the next few years. For the 3rd year running, they're organising a skills expo to entice more West Australians into a wide range of industries.
We are facing the prospect of around 76,000 workers short by 2015. And that is not just in the building and construction industry or those for the mining and resources sector. That is a very generic shortage.
Skills West Expo runs over 3 days in August and is aimed at training workers of all ages.
7 News can reveal a new and dangerous twist for the Gillard government in the Craig Thompson affair tonight. Police today demanded copies of Fair Work Australia's report into the credit card scandal for their own fraud investigations. It's been a long time coming, but the self-proclaimed mastermind of the September 11 terrorist attacks will finally stand trial. Khalid Sheikh Mohammed has been charged over the planning and execution of the attacks, which killed nearly 3,000 people in 2001. 4 others have also been charged. The trial will be held at the US naval base in Guantanamo Bay. If convicted, all 5 men could face the death penalty. Sport now, and Baz, you've got the AFL teams tonight.
I have, Rick. Yes, we'll tell you what the Eagles and the Dockers have done at selection as the axe falls at Melbourne. 4 changes for the Demons, including Aaron Davey. And Ronaldo lets it rip.
Oh, what a goal! Cristiano Ronaldo's got his second.
Don't forget the Glory against Wellington at NIB on Saturday. Kickoff is at 5:30. Have a great Easter. I'll see you on Monday. Good night.
Thanks, Baz. You too. After the break, where to fill up with Perth's cheapest fuel.
And the Easter weather forecast from Natalia.
Hello, a rainy night in Perth, but the skies cleared today and I've got good news. It's looking absolutely beautiful for the Easter long weekend. Currently in the city, it's 18.5 and winds are from the south-southwest at 22 kilometres an hour. It was rather cool out there today, 22.4 the top, and overnight the temperature dipped to 16.5. The city had just under 13 millimetres of rain. Elsewhere, Fremantle and Kalamunda picked up 14 millimetres, 11 at Rottnest and just 3 for Lancelin. Around the state, Mount William in the southwest had 27 millimetres, 16 for Albany, and today the showers moved further across the southwest land division, but falls were much lighter. If you're heading away for the weekend, Bunbury should be mostly sunny tomorrow, 23. Still a shower or two about in Albany, and further north, Exmouth, sunny and a hot 37. On the satellite, the front that brought the showers is now moving into the Bight. A high is going to rapidly develop south of the state tomorrow. It'll warm up over the weekend as winds tend more to the north. Interstate for Good Friday, late showers in Melbourne, rain developing in Hobart and mostly sunny in Sydney. Boating information, east to southeast winds 18 to 23 knots, easing to 13 to 18 during the afternoon. Seas to 1.5 metres, swell to 3.5 metres but easing. So it's going to be quite chilly tonight, down to 9 degrees. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and 25. Sunshine and 30 on Saturday, 31 for Easter Sunday and 32 on Monday. Tuesday's looking even warmer, a top of 34 ahead of some showers mid next week. And before I go, Mary and Bob Pearce from Bentley are celebrating their 64th wedding anniversary, 60 years for Bill and Nita Hawley of Coolangup. And do remember, it's double demerits this long weekend, so please drive carefully and have a happy Easter. Here's Powerball.
That's the news for now. Thanks for watching, and we'll have more for you a little later.
We'll be back with updates throughout the evening. Have a great Easter. Next, it's Monica and Today Tonight.